We have the confusion that's been going on the Republican side, division and some infighting at the House. And I think it's fair to say we're both worried about it because we don't want infighting on our side. We want a unified team that is taking on the other side. They have remarkably little infighting. They found a way. I mean, look at Bernie Sanders. He plays according to the sheet music, and Ilhan Omar. So they've got all these different personalities, but they've been able to shepherd them into kind of a single block. And we've had leadership. I think we have to say that by this measure, Kevin McCarthy did not succeed. I think his intentions were good. He was trying to sort of his idea was to make promises to everybody. I'll give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. But in the end, I think he found he couldn't keep all his promises. Then they all turned on him and go, we can't trust you because you make all these assurances and then you don't live by them. That's ultimately what did him in.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little confused, though, about the Democrats' role in this. Obviously, they don't like him. But do you really think they're going to like somebody that's even more hardcore than he is?
No, I think with the Democrats, what happened was they were willing to make a short-term deal with McCarthy because McCarthy wanted to keep the government open. McCarthy was, again, so many Republicans terrified of shutting down the government, even though when you actually shut down the government, you realize no big deal. But McCarthy was like, the press is going to blame me. So this is the timidity that characterizes McCarthy. He's not alone in this. He wanted to keep the government open, so that he knew he didn't have the Republican votes because the Republicans like, we're spending too much money. We don't have a good enough deal. We're not going to go for it. So what McCarthy does is he gets a short-term deal where he gets Republicans aided by enough Democrats. And this, I think, for Matt Gaetz was like the ultimate stab in the back. When you have a Republican leader squelching his own side by getting enough Republicans. I mean, we've talked about Texas and Dave Phelan. Yeah. So I think there was a nightmare scenario that we'll have a Republican leader, but only in name, who's really representing the Democrats. So this is what caused Matt Gaetz to freak out. Now, interestingly, the Democrats could have bailed out McCarthy because McCarthy got the majority of Republicans, but the Democrats decided that we're not going to bail out McCarthy unless essentially he agrees to become a pawn of us. So in other words, we want him to repudiate MAGA. Right? And then that's the price that we will extract for us supporting him. He wasn't willing to do that. Right. First of all, I think he realized that even the Republican support that he had would evaporate very quickly if he turned out to be making this. It's kind of like a Union general, again, making a backroom deal with the Confederates. You keep me in power. I mean, this was beyond intolerable. So McCarthy was sort of done in, I think, in the end, his own sort of operational cleverness backfired on him.
Oh, well, and it's really funny. My friend Troy Nehls, Congressman Nehls, is kind of pitching for Trump to become speaker. He's really serious about it.
Oh, yeah, and I think so is Marjorie Taylor Greene. So the two of them are beating the drum, and there might probably some others. And I do think that it would be a genius move just in the sense that the Democrats would not believe it.
They would freak out.
Right.
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
And it wouldn't stop Trump from running for president. Trump could even say, I'm going to take the job for 3 months.
Yeah, but...
And I'm going to temporarily serve this role.
You can only imagine.
But isn't that a reason to do it? I mean, he's capable of doing it. He's run the country as the president. He surely would know how to run it. Now, Trump has not been the kind of, I would say, coalition builder so I'm not sure this is not even a job that Trump wants long term.
And I could see if this happened and if he became speaker, I could just see the Biden people, not Biden because he's clueless really these days, but the Biden people saying, okay, we cannot have a State of the Union address because Trump behind him would be ripping things.
Oh, hilarious.
Would be doing all kinds of stuff. And,
making faces.
Oh, gosh.
In fact, probably putting out messages on Truth Social.
It would be hilarious. So they would definitely not want to do that. So I don't know.
I think the broad point we want to make is that there are very high stakes here because we control currently, let's not count the Supreme Court. When we're looking just at the legislative and executive branches, we have a House, we have a Senate, we have the presidency. And right now we only have one of those three, and we have it by a very narrow majority. 5 votes. We need a good leader who can hold our votes together. If aches and pains are your problem, Relief Factor is your remedy. Debbie and I are proof. We started taking Relief Factor a couple of years ago, and we've seen a huge difference in our joints. Nothing short of amazing. Aches and pains are totally gone thanks to this 100% drug-free solution called Relief Factor. How does it work? Relief Factor supports your body's fight against inflammation. That's the source of aches and pains. More than 1 million people have tried Relief Factor, and guess what? The vast majority, about 70%, have gone on to order more. Debbie's a true believer. She can now do exercises, planks, push-ups, and so on, that for a long time she was not able to do. So Relief Factor has been a game changer for her, her aunt, other members of our family, Mike here in the studio, and for many other people. You too can benefit. Try it for yourself. Order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF to find out more about this offer. The number again to call, 800-4-RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. Feel the difference.